if Syria really still had chemical weapon stockpiles, it's been, what, 4 months now since Assad has been ousted? And where are they? How come they haven't found a trace of it? And there's no remote effort to even pretend so far that there is an actual stockpile. There was some article in the New York Times recently said which said that the stockpiles might be hidden in caves. Like, what are you talking about? How are you going to hide sarin or chlorine or whatever it is and all the precursors and all the production materials in caves? It's ridiculous. And Syria's appointed in its new government somebody who headed the White Helmets, Raed Saleh, who headed the White Helmets, and the White Helmets were involved in staging the Duma incident. So that's what I think Saleh's portfolio will include, is helping to basically come up with some way to make it look as if they finally found and gotten rid of Syria's chemical weapons stockpile, when really it isn't there. And to push this narrative, they're coming up with some really ridiculous claims and just some outright lies. So there was just recently an article in the New York Times talking about Ghouta, right? Which, again, there was actually a chemical attack in Ghouta. Sarin was used. People were killed. But the problem is, Obama's own officials went to him, including James Clapper, and said the case against Assad is not a slam dunk. And that was a deliberate reference to the Iraq WMD hoax. And that's because all the evidence actually pointed to this being a false flag carried out by insurgents. And so now, in a bid to shore up the original narrative that Assad did it, the Times comes out with this long article about Ghouta, and they include this ridiculous claim about what happened. And it's based on a supposed witness who's a Syrian military defector who actually wasn't even in Syria by the time Ghouta was carried out, but the Times doesn't even really see a problem with that. Anyway, he claims that the August 2013 Ghouta attack was carried out from the Shariat Air Base. Okay, where's the Shariat Air Base? It's in Homs, which is about 150 kilometers away from Ghouta. It's like, ask anybody, it's impossible. There's no way you can fire a sarin rocket, the kinds that were used in Ghouta, from 150 kilometers away. To the point where, when the Obama administration back in 2013 initially said that Ghouta was carried out from a different Syrian military position of about 8 or 9 kilometers away, that was shown to be way too far. And the Times actually had to admit that. The Times had to admit back in 2013 that actually the range of the rockets in Syria had to have been about 3 kilometers. And this was based on work done by Ted Postal of MIT and a colleague of his, which showed very convincingly that given the, just the physics here, the payload of the rocket and how long it could travel carrying a certain weight of sarin, the range had to be about 3 kilometers, which, by the way, was the range in which insurgent-controlled territory was. So now the Times, because they're so sloppy, and just so sloppy in pushing these lies, they've expanded the range from 3 kilometers to 150 kilometers. It's such a joke.